Regular squads in the house right now on Twitch, so we're going to go ahead and get into the Team of the Week number 6 reviews, guys. Odell Beckham with a huge game, 222 yards. You had Lamar Miller pick up an item on offense, and then Dante Hightower on defense had a safety, I believe, in that game. So let's jump right into it, not waste any more time. If you like these weeks, make sure you give us a little follow on the channel or a thumbs up. Now let's jump right in and go straight to Case Keenum. He's the first guy in, had a really nice game, but 79 speed, 85 throw power, 79 deep. Now this Keenum at a 38 salary cap, I like him in this area. He's kind of like a little bit less version of the Carson Wentz that came out recently, but I mean 79 deep, that's very iffy. The throw power is what gets me because that's as low. It's exactly as low as I want to see it. Kirk Cousins, Alex Smith, guys that hung right around that mark. I think he could be a little bit more accurate. But if you're looking for super balance, this is the vanilla ice cream of quarterbacks. He'll get it done for you if you operate your scheme in an appropriate fashion. But there's just nothing to it. It's going to leave you hungry in just a few moments. Brown here is a middle linebacker with 86 speed. Anytime you see a middle linebacker with 86 speed, guys, you're a little bit intrigued. But, he is only an 81, so there's some stuff missing. I love the 85 hit power. He's not going to have good zone coverage. He's not going to have great block shed, and he's only 5'11". So I would recommend this guy as a user, but I want more height in my user. Can't have 5'11", need him to be 6'3" minimum at the middle linebacker position. Only potential guy is Ryan Shazier I consider using, but he's close to that speed range. He's not above 90 hit power, but other than the Shazier, that's the only time as a middle linebacker I go right there. Hunter Henry picks up an item, and now this is a rookie for the Chargers. He's got wheels at 84 speed at the tight end position with 80 run block. You don't generally see speed and run block that high at that tight end position. Now, he's not a route runner, so you're not going to expect that. But if you want a guy in the seam, if you're looking for a cheap Vernon Davis, if you're looking for, the Ozzie Newsome's probably too expensive for you. He's not a Dallas Clark type, this guy, but he can definitely get the job done. He's 6'5", and I believe he plays kind of like a 6'3" style item. So I like what he brings, and Hunter Henry can definitely be a player for some budget teams out there. Okay, next up is Barry Church. Now, Barry Church has always been a guy when I play now, seems to lay some big hits. He only has 86 hit power, which I felt like was a little low for what I was expecting because of the way I've seen him play, but maybe it's the 92 pursuit that gets him into good positions at strong safety to make some of those big hits. Now, at 85 speed, 83 man, that's not peak for a strong safety at this point in the season. There's better guys out there. I'd like to see 88 speed at my strong safety minimum, and I'd like to see 87 zone, 88 zone minimum. But 6'2" with good pursuit, a little hip power, really good tackle. If you play with guys down in the box and you can't afford missed tackles, I know they've tuned it back a little bit with all the broken tackles, but Church could be a guy that could help in your lineup, but he's not a true all-out cover guy, and that's what I use for my strong safeties. And then if you get him, you can say, Barry, take me to church. But you get Cliff Avril at 6'3". He is a right end, 92 finesse move. So if you're big into finesse move, maybe you want to use the Clowney, or the Curse. I use the Curse. I think his finesse move is the best in the game. I see him spin. We'd have to check their traits to see if they both have finesse, but he could be a cheaper version maybe of the Curse depending on where his price settles. 86 XL. 92 finesse, which is great, and then he still has 84 power move. And Avril is not known as a run stuff defender. 75 strength, that's probably why. But 89 block shed feels really elevated for a Cliff Avril. So I might give this guy a shot if I didn't have the Curse. And I think this guy could be pretty nice. Okay. Jay Ajayi picks up a item. He had a huge game last week. No LaShawn McCoy. He's already had a team of the week, so you get the Ajayi instead. Also Lamar Miller, but 88 speed with 88 elusive. Now, this is not a truck style back. He's pretty balanced, though. He actually has 81 truck with 88 elusive, and I like that better, that his elusive is better than his truck with 87 carry. Overall, I'm going to always defer to guys with 88 speed that are more truck-style backs, because you have David Johnson had a good value in this game. You have Todd Gurley had a good value in this game. Not the color rush, but the one before. I'm going to always end up using those guys for those types of runs, the stretch-style runs off tackle. And then I'm going to go to a LaShawn McCoy-style back who can catch out of the backfield and has better agility to kind of get out of the way. So I'm not going to use this item, but super rock solid item across the middle. If you pull this guy, you don't feel like you're going to get equal value for him coming out. I mean, you keep this guy, you throw him in your lineup, he's perfect. You'll mash with him. Derek Johnson gets an item. Now this guy is always right on that 85. This guy's been an 85 elite for 7 years. Derek Johnson, I believe he's out of Texas. He's 6'3". Okay, he's similar to Church. He's got 92 pursuit, 84 tackle, 85 zone, 93 play rec, 83 hit power, 83 block shed, 81 speed. Now, Johnson is a set it and forget it type middle linebacker. What I mean by that is he can just be put in the middle of your defense. You don't have to click onto him. If you can't afford Luke Kuechly, you just leave Derek Johnson there. You put him in a zone assignment. And yeah, he's not going to make every play because he doesn't have the speed. He's not Anthony Barr, 6'5", but he is going to be smart on his own. He's big enough. He's fast enough. He's got good enough hip power. You're never like, wow, I just pulled Derek Johnson. You're like, I pulled Derek Johnson. That's good. And then you put him in your backup role, and then he comes in a game and he makes a play for you. So I do like the Derek Johnson right here. I think he's going to get the job done. I'm not going to go put him in my lineup because I think Ray Nitschke is always going to be better, and I do use him at middle linebacker, so this won't work in my scheme. But if you like to just set it and forget it, you can't afford Luke Kuechly. There's a couple other guys with really high play rec, really high zone coverage that I have in one of my budget sheets, but this guy will work for you if you're interested. Okay, this next Brandon Cooks, it's the new Brandon Cooks. I believe this is a must-have item for your ultimate team. I don't say that a lot. I've said it about BCA Vince Wilfork last year, and I said it about Brandon McManus or Matt Prater last year. Other than that, I have never really stated like must-have item. And this won't be a permanent must-have item, but at this point in the season, this Brandon Cooks is a must-have item because he has 93 speed. And people say, Farles, do you need Richard Sherman on your team? And I say, guys, if Brandon Cooks gets a hold of Richard Sherman on a streak, he could toast him. Now, I haven't toasted anybody in my last 2 or so days of playing, maybe two games, but I still believe there's a point with Brandon Cooks. And I tell you what, the Brandon Cooks, a couple times I've thrown it and I haven't dusted my guy, and he's still caught it. And he's not that type of receiver. He's small, but he does have 88 spec, 87 catch in traffic, which is nothing to sneeze at. The 93 speed's what you're paying for. I would pay a little bit extra. And then you still get 89 route running and 91 elusive. So he could be a drag guy, a streak guy, but he can still run every route in the book. He's like a T.Y. Hilton from a couple years ago, that final edition that could do it all. You think of him as a speed guy, but he can really do it all, and he's just disguised because he's smaller and we think of him as a speed player. So, he'll back defenses off. You've always got to look out for him if you have him on your team, and then he can just go and do whatever you need him to do. So I would absolutely get this Brandon Cooks, and I will be upgrading my current Brandon Cooks to this Brandon Cooks. Hightower picks up a defensive item right here, and we've actually gone ahead and opened this bad boy up on the other page because with a Hightower, the whole beginning of his item never tells the full story because you might look and you might go, he's an outside backer, but he's only got 76 finesse move with 83 speed, and what does this guy do? And then you look at it, it's like a Jamie Collins. You go, all right, well, he's pretty strong, 86. Well, he's got pretty good block shed, 87, so he's going to stop the run. He has 91 hit power. That's good. I mean, he has 93 tackle. All right. Well, he has 89 play rec. That's good. He's got 80 press at linebacker. Not needed, but still, why not? 81 zone coverage, 90 pursuit. Can he rush? Well, he's got 89 power move, 76 finesse. So you start to put together all the pieces of this Hightower. You cannot pay 145 stacks for him because you can get a Pernell McPhee and a Tamba Hali who are stronger. You can get guys who are better pass rushers. You can get guys who are better in zone coverage. You can get 3 of those guys for less than it will cost you to get a Hightower. But sometimes it's just easier to get a Hightower and then set him in your lineup and forget it. I mean, this guy's super solid across the board. You grab him, you're never going to be nervous if he gets auto-flipped and switched on to somebody. Like the Von Miller that I have, who sometimes ends up in zone coverage and can only swap the ball. It seems like, this Hightower, maybe he'll get some interceptions for you, or maybe he will get a sack, or maybe he'll get a forced fumble on a hit, and he'll always be good in the run game. So I do like this Hightower. I think he's pretty legit. Okay. I had just gone through BCA yesterday on my last video, and now all of a sudden Lamar Miller, I see him on my list again. He's back at it with a 91 speed item with 92 elusive, 91 juke, 94 agility. 94 agility. So you get a Lamar Miller. He's very, very similar to LaShawn McCoy. If you can't afford the LaShawn McCoy, you can definitely look at picking up a Lamar Miller as your main halfback. We're going to take a look and see about his route running right here. But this guy right here has 73. We liked him last year as a super sleeper back in Ultimate Team. I know Problem was a big fan of Lamar Miller. And it looks like more of the same from Lamar Miller. He's going to be a guy that will get the job done for you. And now he's already up to 91 speed with 94 agility. And, his next item is going to have probably 92, 93 speed with 90 spin. Probably 90 carry, probably 75 route running, and he's already above 90 juke, so his next item might be the item, but this one should hold you over for plenty of time, and pretty happy to see this Lamar Miller. He also goes with my chemistry. I have the CM chemistry with Gronk and McNair, so I might, I'm not going to move McCoy because McCoy's just been playing too well for me, and I like his little pass catching, but I really might. It wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to check that out. And then lastly, what happens? Well, Farrells goes and gets the Friday Night Draft Champions version of Odell Beckham as a review item from EA, and I use him for 2 games, and he plays really well. And then next day, Giants trailing in the 4th quarter, Odell Beckham takes a slant, cribs it all the way, game-winning touchdown. Goes from 88 speed to 90 speed. So now you got an Odell Beckham floating around out here. He's only 5'11", but he's got 90 speed, 92 route running, which is the threshold I love to see. That is the rating, 92 route running. If you weren't here last year, I'm fixated on 92 route running. 89 catching traffic, 94 spec, 89 release, 90 elusive. So this Odell right here, probably one of the highest spec catchers in the game. Good speed. Can now now's above in the route running. 88, I thought he was faster, the Friday Night Draft Champions version, but 90 is now that new tier you really want to see your guys at the receiving position. He's going to hopefully end up less than the Julio. So, we got to see where his price settles in at. Obviously, he's not worth, that much. And spec catching is definitely toned down, but you still want to have the option, and he can still run routes. Am I crazy if I say I'd rather have the Brandon Cooks? I don't know if that's the case. I'd like to really give the Friday Night Draft Champions Odell a little bit more of an opportunity before I make that claim. But what I'm going to do is pick up the Brandon Cooks, hold off on this Odell, but continue to test the 88 Draft Champs version, see if that 2 speed I think is a big enough difference to coin up, and the 92 route running. But this spec is unmatched pretty much, and he'll make big time catches for you. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking about these new Team of the Week 6 items, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Hopefully you've continued your grind on the solos that came out at the end of last week. I know a lot of guys earned a lot of packs, a lot of coins, and hopefully you have good luck in your arsenal when you go after these guys. All right, guys, until next time, Z Farrells, give that channel a follow and a thumbs up, and we'll talk soon. I'm not actually leaving. I'm going to play one game. I'm going to play one game.